going to be tough enough. They're just going to quit. And then I find out that they're getting divorced and they're no longer together. And I really believe in almost most of the cases where I saw their potential, that, man, if they would have just stood in the business, which pushes you to grow, not just grow in business, but grow in as a person, grow as a partner, grow as a wife or a husband, I really believe that in most cases that couple would still be together. So, so I think that's a good talk to make sure you have with every single couple, that especially that is struggling. Don't quit, because if you do, you'll probably end up quitting on each other. Does that make sense? Yeah. So awesome job, Martha. And so her partner's coming up next, and going to talk about making sure that you're maxing out the full compensation in Primerica. So let's give it up to Victor Quesada.
Thank you. All right.
Hey, can you hook me up, brother? Yeah, sure. HDMI. HDMI, yeah. So while Luis joining mic, or can you join your mic? Yes. All right. So a couple of things. I need a table, and then I need some cards. I'm gonna need. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So no, that's fine. That's fine. So a couple of things while Luis hooks up my computer. So just so you know, Martha did not join 2 months later, because it was like 3 weeks later. It just seemed like 2 months, because every minute away from me for her is like 10 hours. No, but it wasn't 2 months, babe. But yes, as soon as she joined, our business took off, and it's like 22 code password, okay, right there, and then right there. I got it. So then, as soon as she joined, obviously our business did well, because this is a family business. And then I think it's funny. So we went and sat with Guico, right? He's like, hey, dude, come on, man. I said, let's go to lunch. I invite him to lunch, and then he buys us lunch. What the heck, right? When you invite somebody to lunch, you got to, so Guico don't let you pay, man. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. But anyways, and then fly out, I think that's true, Frank. I think that we miss fly out. We miss fly out, because as regionals, man, we were like, our butts were burning, and now it's so easy. You just hit turbo, and you're already getting paid. You hit turbo on Tuesday, you get paid on Wednesday. What the heck? That's, but we miss fly out, and a couple of things. So I'll share this before I go into so she said loyalty, right? And loyalty, obviously we know that, but just close. Just close, right? You just gotta close. So we're sitting at an appointment, right? And I'm the closer, I'm the smart guy, and I'm this and that, right? We're sitting with a couple from church, and I do the whole thing, right? I do the whole presentation. It makes sense. F&A, they're really not recruitable, and I'm sitting there closing them, and they're balking, right? They're like, hey, the life insurance, yeah, it sounds really good, but I don't know, I'm gonna think about it, all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, what does you want to think about? Overcome the objections, 2 or 3 of them, and then this is Martha. Victor, you love your kids? His name's Victor too, the other guy, right? The client. Do you love your kids? Yeah. I need you to write me a check for $160, please. Okay. And he wrote the check for $160. So that's a closer, man. And I was like, I did everything. All right, so who gets credit? So who closed the ad? Well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you just close it. You close it. You know what I mean? Is this ready to go? Yeah. So, but that's what, how do I click?
He's getting the clicker.
Damn, he even has a clicker?
Just click it on the thing.
In the meantime, huh? All right, so,
let me click it.
All right, guys, so I got it. I can go right here if you want. Is that correct?
Just let me know.
Okay, guys. So securities, man. Anybody in the room not securities licensed? Because I know. Okay, so raise your hand if you do not have a securities license. Okay. All right, cool. That's good, because this is going to help, because we got to get our securities license. Yes or no? Yes. The only thing is that obviously, right? It's a big deal. At that appointment, I remember exactly what Franklin. One of the things that excited me was saving some money. I'm the security guy. Can you tell? She don't care. Let's just go, right? But I'm the one that needs to have money in the bank, and I'm the in the relationship. And when he said the rule of 72, that's a really good recruiting tool, in my opinion. We get excited about saving money and eventually becoming free. Yes or no? Yes. Right? So the first slide says when our company was founded in 1977, we had one main goal. Man, that was awesome, huh? Give it up for Weekly. Everything, man. Right? So we had one main goal, and that was is to give people a chance to build financial independence for their families. True or true?
True.
Right? But remember, right, we're going to help a lot of people, but the main thing is you're going to become financially independent too by helping other people. And Primerica, I believe, has done that. I don't think there's another company. There's another company that has more financially independent representatives. There isn't. There isn't. And if you ever get, like I have some clients that are close to me and they make like $100,000 a year, but they got no money saved, right? Their job owns them. They can't never take, they have to wait until what's coming up next Monday, like Memorial Day or something like that. They have to wait until that kind of time. What kind of financial independence is that? That's not really a good deal, yes or no? So, yes or no? Yeah. You guys awake? You need some more coffee? No. All right, so what's the main goal is we all got to become, where is it at? Financial independent. That is the main goal, right? Yes. So what happens is, what is financial independence? Let's talk about that. Because it's different for everyone, yes or no? Yes. Right? I know I'm blocking you, but I apologize. Maybe it's, but financial independence occurs the moment that your passive income exceeds your living expenses. Wow. So is that awesome or what? Think about that, right? Because look, honestly, guys, I was a warehouse manager where before Primerica, I was in warehousing. And nobody ever talked to me about passive income or making more money than your expenses. True or false? True. Right? So we need to share this with people, right? So what is passive income? Passive income is all of the money that you earn when you're not working. And you're like, what? How does that make sense? When you're not working? So tell me, where can we go to do that? Here. Only in Primerica. Well, also with investments, but only in Primerica, right? And that's what we're going to talk about security investments, right? So most of you have seen this, right? But one of the biggest mistakes that people make is waiting, procrastinating. Yes or no? Yes. Right? So so think about this, right? $200 a month for 10% from 25 to 65, right? That's $1.2 million. So I always tell people, look, we have no excuse. All of us in the room, all of the people that we sit with, we have to retire financially independent. Right. Because now we know that it's possible, and we also have the vehicle to make it happen. Make sense? Yes. But look, procrastination, right? Just 1 year, that's almost $120,000, $150,000 difference. I don't know about you. I can't afford to lose $120,000. Are you with me? Yes. Right? So should we be investing for the future? Yes. Right? And then somebody says, oh, not now, I'm too young, right? I'm only 25, right? 5 years later, that's half of the money. And wait 15 years, forget it. $265,000, right? When they go to retire, that's like having, I don't know, 80,000 or 30,000 or something like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So obviously, the problem is the best thing anyone can do is to automate their savings because that makes the wealth accumulation automatic. Think about that. Automate, we do what's right 100% of the time. When we set up a $50 mutual fund, don't think lightly of that. Because that is a big, big deal. Because $50 turns into $60, turns into $100, turns into $200. And hopefully the next time they get a raise, they're like, you know what, this is going really good. I'm going to go ahead and save more money. Does that make sense? Yeah. So but here's the problem. Is you go deliver a policy, and they say, yes, I do want to save the difference. Okay, let me go get Luis. Let me go get Victor. Let me go get Chris. Let me go get... So, hey, we got to change that, right? We got to make that a priority. Yes. All right? Right. So your bank has never told you about the Rule 72? Yep. Wow, I'm really surprised. Right? I mean, we have fun with this stuff, right? Because think about it. How many times do we go into the bank and they want to, right? And if you have any substantial amount, like not even substantial, anything over $10,000, aren't they like calling you, sending you letters? They're like, oh, do you know that we have investment vehicles where you can earn 6 times the national average? Well, what's 6 times 0.08%? That's still 0.48%. That's not even 1%. Yeah. Are you with me? Yes. 6 times equals this. Oh, anyways. All right. So second biggest mistake is we know the Rule 72. Yes or no? Yes. Right? Sometimes called the banker's rule. 72 divided by 12 equals the number of years it takes your money to double. So we know that, right? 6 is better than 3. 12 is better than 6, obviously, right? Because it's doubling every 6 years. Okay. Here's the problem. Okay, is that most people only work hard for money. They don't work smart for money. Right? And so what it is working smart is getting your money to work for you. Right? So we got to make a lot of money so that we can make that money work for you. And I want you guys to remember this, because how many of you have ever been in an appointment and somebody says, oh, come on, Claudette, you can't get 12% every year. True or true? Right? So they come. Now, I don't know what it is, but you share something good with people and they have to look for the bad, right? They must be Mexican. Anyways, I'm sorry. Right? It's going to take how many years for my money? It's going to take how many years for my money? Right? That's Batman. All right? How many years for my money to double? Have you guys seen the preview? You guys like movies?
Yes.
You guys seen the new movie, the previews, right? So what's your superpower for Batman? Is I'm really rich. That's a superpower, yes or no? That's a superpower we can all have, right? So last year and the year before, banks collected over $30 billion in overdraft fees, right? That's another way to say this, is that banks took $30 million from people that didn't have no money in the first place.
Right.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? It used to drive me crazy, honestly, because look, Martha, we've been together for a long time, man, and again, she's an A. She just goes, action person, right? I don't know if we've ever studied. Have we ever studied the star system here? We did it once with John Graham. We got to do that. Yeah. But if you guys don't know what A means, there's action people and there's technical people, and so she's the action person. So before Primark, she'd go be working, like she said, in Long Beach or whatever, and she'd use an ATM that was not our bank, and they would charge her $2.35, and her phone would ring. Babe, you took money out of, and they charge you $2.35? And so I would come, you know what I mean? It's like, I work for my money, man. You ain't taking no $2.35. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, and this is ridiculous, because somebody doesn't have enough money, they charge them a $30 overdraft fee. Right? That is ridiculous, man. We got to do something about that. We got to help those people get on a better plan. Right? So what is a mutual fund, right? So let's talk a little bit about a mutual fund. Okay? So a mutual fund is basically a basket of money, right? And it comes from, it's funded from different sources. Maybe you meet somebody that has a $100,000 lump sum, right? They work at their job and they saved up some money in a 401k and they have $100,000, right? Or maybe you will meet with somebody who was paying $500 in their life insurance and you bring it down to $165 and they got, or you know, whatever, you save them $200, so now they can save $200, or somebody has $2,000 or $50 a month. It doesn't matter, but it comes from different places. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we take this money, right, mutually put it together, and we give it to these happy money managers. You see the money managers, how happy they are? Right? These are professional money managers. So Primerica, what we do, guys, is we hire professional money managers through our investment companies, and that's a big, big deal. Because try to call Merrill Lynch tomorrow and tell them that you have $50 to invest, and see what they tell you. Right? See what they tell you and see where they tell you to go. Right? Because they won't even talk to you unless you have, what is it, $250 now? $250,000, right? Not $250, $250,000. Right? So we take our money, give it to professional money managers, and then they invest it into retail, right? Into technology stuff like projectors, right? Stuff like microphones and clickers and so forth and so on. Does that make sense? Yeah. Retail companies, right? How about manufacturing company and food services? We had a great breakfast this morning, yes or no? Yeah. Give it up for the ladies for that awesome breakfast this morning. Right? And Chris and Lori and everybody that helped and me that ate it all. So, but we have food. So I talk about this all the time. When I go into the home, I say, Mr. and Mrs. Klein, you know, you have Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops. I guarantee you, you're already investing in the market. You're just not reaping the rewards. Does that make sense? Yes. Because you're consuming, right? Everything, milk, blanquillos, everything, right? And then companies like in energy and healthcare, right? Energy, right? Isn't it funny? You know why investing in energy and that's a good investment? Because have you noticed that even the poor people pay their electric bill? Right? Why do they? Because if they don't pay the bill, what happens? They get shut down, right? So that's why that's a good investment, right? And stuff like transportation and so forth and so on. So invest in all these different things, right? So investing in the greatest companies in the world is how one gets their money working hard for them and working smart. It's supposed to say smarter right there, but it didn't. But that's how you work smarter, right? Investing in companies like Exxon, Chevron, Mobil, whatever, right? Verizon, all of these different companies, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's start reaping the rewards, guys. Right? So is this a big difference? All right. So let's look at a typical age 65, accumulated $100,000. So if somebody we didn't help, finally through their own efforts or so forth and so on, they saved $100,000 and they go to retire. Mutual funds allow you to take 5% out of your account. So that means that this person is going to live off of $5,000 a year. That's what, like $415 a month? Is that crazy or what? Crazy. See, this is why people retire and they got to move out of the country. And I don't know about you guys, but I hear this a lot. Oh, no. When I'm retired, I'm out of here. I'm going to Mexico, right? And $400 in Mexico is a lot of pesos. A lot. But why did you work your whole life here? I love California, man. I want to stay here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But what if we help them accumulate $1 million? What's $1 million? 5%? That's $50,000. Is $4,000 better?
Yes.
So this is living on $500 a month. No, actually $415, $416 if you want to be exact. And that's living on over $4,000 a month. See, that's real planning, that's real investing for the future. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And $1 million's not even really enough, but we just wanted to show how, what a difference it is. So how good would you feel to help people do that in this way? How to help people in this meaningful way?
Right.
Would that be a good thing?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely it is, right? So just a couple examples, right? So can you get a 12%? I don't know, let's try, right? So plan A, let's change the tradition, okay? Plan A, inherit left, 0. Raise your hand, anybody here that has inherited something? Anybody? Anybody from their family? See, I didn't, honestly, right? You did? All right, get out, we need to leave. All right, okay, right? Oh, okay. So inheritance is usually 0, right? What about financial education passed down? None. Right? What about outcome? Well, that's more lack, more bondage, and more poverty. True or true? Generation after generation, this just keeps happening. It's a vicious cycle. Well, what if we change that tradition, right? What did your family leave you? And then, how about if you inherit that $1 million? Would that be a nice thing?
Yes.
See, how many of us say, man, if my dad would have left me $1 million, if my grandpa would have left me $1 million, $2 million, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Your kid's going to say the same thing if we don't make that difference, right? I don't want my kid, look, I want him to earn it, but I want to be able to leave something, something behind for them. So in family financial, so instead of leaving nothing, how about we leave them a family financial how to win manual, step by step, how we did it, how we invested, what kind of plans that we set up, right? Outcome of $1 million lump sum invested for the next 65 years. If they do it correctly at 10%, that's almost $650 million.
Wow.
Is that awesome or what?
Yeah, awesome.
See, guys, we could change our trajectory of our families. We could change the Quesada name, right? I have a vision, honestly, right? Where we're at, I want my name on buildings. I want that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but like, Cardenas and stuff, those were just some brothers, the Marquez brothers. I don't know if you guys go to those markets. No? Anybody?
Yeah.
Right, the Marquez brothers, they were in city ministry, and I remember seeing Marquez brothers, and I said, why can't it be the Quesada brothers? I got 3 of them too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We got to change that stuff, right? This is called generation to generation investment, and the reason why the rich keep getting rich and the poor keep getting poor. So we know that, right?
Yeah.
So just an example, right? Why get securities license? Here's some example of an actual client. Okay, Cardenas, not the store.
That's what I thought.
But that just happens to be their last name. So in March 2009, I get a referral, right? A client. By the way, the reason I got this referral is because the client didn't speak English and the rep didn't speak Spanish. And I do. All right? $100,000, but what else did I have? A license. Because that other rep didn't have a license either, right? Diversified into 16 mutual funds, so we put it into an annuity. Now, let me see if I can, how much time are we, well, I'll wrap it up. But we put it into 60. So this client right here says to me, he says, comes into the building and he says, hey, very respectful, because one of the things that I think that we lack of right now is respect as a society. Like kids that you have an appointment with, or millennials these days, sorry millennials, you have an appointment at 5 and at 4:55 they say, sorry, you're not going to make it. My dad would have whooped you know what I mean, if you did that. But this gentleman was an old gentleman. He said, hey, Victor, I thank you for your time. I just want to let you know I saw the name of your company. Now I know who you are. I have a bad experience. I lost a lot of money. And I said, hey, no problem, right? So he had a bad experience with Primary. But the truth is, he had a bad experience with the bad rep. Okay? Because I said, hey, no problem. I understand. You're already here. What do you got? Tell me about your experience. So first of all, I listened to him. He told me that he lost a lot of money. He had invested already like 100 grand. Quick when it went down to like 30 grand and then closed the account. So that's not good, right? I think it was something like that, but it was a lot, right? And I said, no problem, I understand. I did my presentation, and he says, okay, it sounds like you know what you're doing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you a try. I'm going to try you out, but this is all the money I have. I've been saving my whole life. I need you to do something good for me. And I was like, okay, no pressure, right? Right? $100,000. So he gives me $100,000. We invested, right? As of May 7, 2017, that account is worth $252,600.
Wow.
Now check this out here. That's a good. Give MetLife a good hand, right? That was MetLife. Thank you. Right? And then this is what happened, right? He averaged a 13.7% rate of return. So is that 12% possible, Claudia? Right? Not every single year, but when you understand and you take the time, obviously that would be another session. Understand how mutual fund works, and he averaged 13.7%. So I show this to my clients. Obviously, I don't show his name and stuff, right? But I show them what has happened. I just say, hey, man, you know, past performance is not equal to the future. No, I'm just kidding, right? But I do all that stuff, right? So then, remember this, okay? March 2009, that's all the money, right? Es todo el dinero que tengo, mijo. Sí, por favor, necesito que lo, right? For the Spanish speaking, right? And I said, hey, no problem, right? I was sweating a little bit, to be honest. But I knew our product, and I knew what it can do. So then, his wife calls me, and about March, April, May, June, July, about August, she calls me, and my name's not Victor anymore. My name is, Tom, I'm busy right now. He says, mijo, necesito que vengas. I need you to come to my house. And I was like, all right. I was like, okay, well, what's going on? We got a statement from the account, and of course, right, our mom, oh my God, all right, I hope everything's fine. So I pull up their account, Rico, and they had gone, like from May, they had gone from 100 to 150,000. And she's all, this can't be true. And I said, well, it is. It's right here. It's in paper. It's true. And she goes, I have a little bit more money. All right. She gave me $50,000 more. Wow. So what if they would have gave me the whole $150,000? Because see, now that account is worth $88,000, but she missed out 8 months, so she only averaged 7.3. But nonetheless, that's still almost $350,000 that they have. Is that awesome? Yeah. Yes, that is awesome. So this particular client right here has this account, obviously all their other stuff, but I did their F&A. They have $100,000 left on their account also that they're like, but we can't take it all, right? They gotta have it for emergencies. They have their primary residence paid for, and they have 2 investment properties paid for. Absolutely no debt. Kids are grown, independent, totally financial. Did I sell them life insurance? They didn't need it. They didn't need it. They're financially independent, and the truth is they didn't qualify anymore medically. But we briefly talked about it. But they're set. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How old is the client when you met them?
When I met them, they were 64? 64, I think it was,
You
yeah.
put it in a fixed index?
No, I put this in a variable annuity, probably for variable annuity. Yeah, so it's an awesome product. Obviously, we can go more into product, but today, because of time, I wanted to show you that when we talk about the Rule 72, feel confident. It really does work if you work it correctly. And it's not, remember, it's not timing the market, meaning people want to, oh, the market's up, okay, I want to put money in. No, it's time in the market, because she lost 8 months. Is that 8 months from March to, no, that's, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, she lost 8 months, and she only averaged 7.3. This is the wife, by the way. They love me. They don't call me Victor no more, right, babe? They don't call us Victor, mijo and mija. I'm like, okay, how many? Oh, and then they did refer me also to the brother-in-law who did $200,000 investment a couple, like a year ago or so. That's awesome. So is that awesome or what? Yeah. Right, that is awesome, man. So hey, that's part of the other one. Sorry. So, but let's not forget, okay? I know you're going to cover other areas, but let's not forget that this is very, very important. But the truth is, override income is more important, right? 5 field trainings helping a client per month, earning $2,000 a month. As an RVP override, that's $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year. This is where the real business. Yesterday we were talking about Minnie Carousing. He makes a lot of money and so forth and so on. But I guarantee you, he'd like to have Hector's life. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hector doesn't do very many investments, as far as I know, right? But Hector has a big business that provides a lot of. So let's not forget that an RVP is a broker that builds productive agents, right? I'm not a smart man. But I know building my own business is wiser than building someone else's business. Right? Is that cool or what? Yeah. So hey guys, we're excited to be here. I really just want to say thank you, Frank. Thank you, Irma. You guys are unbelievable. I mean, obviously, I probably get emotional if I get any, but we're like family, right? I mean, I know that, you know, we are the MVPs and we're going to kick your ass when we have to. Sorry, guys. Sorry, but we have to because it's ridiculous that you guys are freaking like 40. I'm like, what the heck? We can do that too, but we're coming. We're building. We need to do that. But Rachel's right. When you talked about that yesterday, we need to make sure that the Beltran hierarchy is one known to be reckoned with in Primerica and in Party. And both, right? We stay up late, we get up early, right? And I'm excited to be here. I want to say that this is an awesome place, and I think we should make it a year thing, and let's do that, man. So thank you guys so much. If there's anything I can do to help you, by any means, call us. Let us know what we can do, right? So thank you guys so much. Thank you.
All of you spoke so far, you bring so much value to us. We appreciate that. You know, the one thing
Yes, sir.
about, you know, what Victor talked about, you got to match your comp, and the example you set for others will be what they do. Does that make sense? You know, so, you know, Victor's Securities Lives, obviously, and he talks about being Securities Lives. So guess what he's going to do as they start really blowing up their business, their team? You think they're going to get a bunch of Securities License agents?
Yes.
Because whatever you focus on grows.
Yes.
So just, I want to share something with you that's always big in, because you're all the leaders in our hierarchy, right?
Yes.
So you're big boys and girls, no?
Yes.
You won't take it personal. I got this from John Maxwell. People sometimes we just don't know that we impact other people based on what we do. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
You know, I was fortunate enough to be involved in corporate America, and I had some really good leaders. One of my leaders made me read. He made all of us read a book a month. So for, you know, I think I worked for him for 8 years. For 8 years, he made us read a book a month. Did that help my growth?
Yes.
Did it help all those guys grow?
Yes.
And he made sure we read it. You know why? Because we have a conference call at 7 o'clock on every Monday morning. Guess what we talk about?
The
We
book.
talk about the book. He'd ask questions and make sure that you read it. Thank God. Thank God. He had a huge impact as far as my growth. And then I was at my first corporate meeting, and a guy named Doug, who was out of North Dakota, sat right next to me. And the president of the company was up there. This is my first meeting. I just got started with the company, and he's talking, right? And so I'm listening, and I'm not taking notes. And Doug goes like that. He says, "Hey, Frank, you see that guy up there? He's the president of the company. When he's talking, you need to make sure he sees you taking notes." He says, "I don't care if you're full of crap on that note. He needs to see you taking notes," because what he says, if you're not taking notes when somebody's talking or training, you're telling that person, I can't learn anything from you. Does that make sense?
Right.
So just remember that whenever somebody's doing some training and you're not focused on really putting it on writing, putting it on paper, you're telling the speaker, the person who's giving the, you know, obviously so far, that I can't learn anything from you. And that's, I put that in the disrespect column. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So don't take it personal. John, I get it from John Maxwell. I'm your friend. Let me be your friend.
Right.
Here's the biggest part of that. Okay, how many of you have had people on your team that you knew had the ability to do really well?
Yes.
Yes.
And they didn't make money and they eventually quit. What was the main reason why that happened? They didn't grow. They didn't grow their thinking. They didn't grow their team because they didn't recruit. But the main thing that causes they didn't grow. And so the biggest thing about these notes that I'm talking about, and we do a lot of training in Primerica?
Yes.
You're going to be
Yes.
constantly in an environment like this. And if I join your team and you're my leader and you're in a training meeting and I don't see you taking notes, guess what I'm probably going to do? I'm not going to take notes either. I don't need to, because the example I'm setting, then you're successful, because you can have some success and not do it, but most of the people can't. And so critically important. That's why we gave everybody a notepad,
Right.
so that every one of you can grow and take notes. And I think if you really understand the training I'm doing right now, it was well worth it, because from this day forward, you're going to make sure you're doing that, and when you recruit anyone who wants to win, they're going to follow that example. They're going to take those notes. They're going to learn. They're going to grow. They're not going to quit. They're going to help you build a hierarchy.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
don't ever take it personal. I think so many times we don't want to say it because we think we're going to offend somebody, but I care about all of you. And I care about all the people that you're going to bring into your business. And I want them to be successful too. So that little tweak can make a huge difference for each and every one of you. So I hope you take that to heart. So with that, let's move on here. We got, anybody learn anything so far?
Yes.
And so the next person coming up going to talk about, what Primerica is about, building.
Yeah.
Right? We want to, and the more you build, the more securities you do. The more you build, the more premium you do, right? So nothing more important than growing and building. So every time you get in front of somebody, your mindset, right, I always talk about, right, you walk into a front door, all you're thinking about, I always say a prayer before I go into an appointment. I just say, hey, please give me the words to help this couple see what I know and get them involved in my business, because I know that's the number one thing I can impact their lives with and their kids with. And so that's my focus, that's my goal. Now, based on their answers to my questions, I may steer different, but that's my focus, and it needs to be your focus. Focus on building an incredible distribution. Let's give it up to us and Lori Opfuller.
Do the dance first.
Okay, so I think this is a perfect time to do it. So does everybody know our chant?
Yes, we do.
So we're going to do that right now.
All right.
So what we do is, like Cody said, we got to stand up and we punch up in the air and say, builders. Right? Because that's what we are.
Yes.
So we're going to practice that right now.
Stand up.
Everybody stand up. When I say we do builders, right?
Yes.
At our top of our lungs. So we are
Builders.
We are
Builders.
We are
Builders.
So we're gonna do that for you too. So don't forget that.
All right.
Victor, give us like my
So my cap right now is about being a builder, right? Because we don't want to sell for the rest of our life, right?
Right.
And then A.O. Williams said, this is from his book, we have no desire to be in the sales business, waking up every day knowing we have to make a sale in order for our families to survive. We desire freedom of time and money, and the ability to make overrides provides that freedom, and overrides only come from building a team. So when we see people, we want to help them financially, but the ultimate bottom line is we want to build you a team. We want to get you on our team, help you build a team so that we can become financially independent.
Yes.
Right? So you have to be convinced personally that what we do is awesome. That what we do in our products is awesome, so we don't feel ashamed of what we do. What Victor had talked about, helping a family at age 64, right? People, if you start saving money earlier, you don't have to worry and play catch up. And they're at age 64, and Victor did an amazing job. That's something that we can feel so proud about. So people that we sit down with, they still have a shot.
Right.
Yes.